seven today that I want to talk about is the mad scientist approach to guaranteeing your results. So, when I was trying to lose my weight, I was over 200 pounds. And when I was over 200 pounds, I said my goal is to be like 160 pounds. I thought, I would look good at 160 pounds. And so I would try and I would try, I tried all these diets and I would get close. I'd get to like 163 and I'd yo-yo up to 165 and I'd yo-yo back and forth, back and forth. And I could never stay there. And I would always bounce back up, right? And I would just miss my goal by like a hair. And, when I was at that 163, 164, I realized that, what? I'm still not 100% happy with my body. So even if I did make it to 160, my ultimate goal, I'll still probably want to see some changes. So what I did was I would shift my goal, right? And then my goal was 150 pounds. And the funny thing is that then I would try to lose weight again. And I would end up yo-yoing around 152 to 154. And I could never touch that 150. It was like teasing me. And then I would bounce back and up and down. And so I had this epiphany after going through these experiences of teeter-tottering in that little weight and never being able to touch the goal that I set for myself. And that is the mad scientist approach to guaranteeing results, which is be idealistic, not realistic. What do I mean by that? Well, you have to overshoot your goals. You have to overshoot your goals because the saying, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll still land among the stars. Think about like scientists and how they made inventions. They had to think crazy when they thought of the telephone, like, I'm going to speak to somebody across the world. No way, that doesn't make any sense. But yet they had to think crazy in order to make that a reality. And so I need you to think crazy and think outside of the box because I didn't lose 80 pounds until I changed my goal from 150 to 120. That is when I finally broke out of the 150s into the 140s, out of the 140s into the 130s. Right? Because before I couldn't break out of the 160s until my goal was 150 instead of 160. And so if we keep pushing the goalpost further and further and further, even if we never reach that goalpost, there's still a ton more room of awesome goals that we're going to reach that we wouldn't have reached if we set our goal too short-sighted, too realistic. And this term is thrown out a lot, SMART goals, right? Which stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And I don't like this approach. This is how, if you go to a gym, a personal trainer usually sets your goals. And I don't really like this approach, but SMART goals should be used for micro goals. Okay, so what's your weekly goal? What's your daily goal? What's your monthly goal, right? Those are micro, but your macro big picture goal should never be a SMART goal because we're not in a box, right? Like if your goal is to reach something you've never reached before, then you have to think like you've never thought before. And that requires you to go outside of your box and pick a goal that is scary. And I have it here, like, fuck realistic. Sorry for my French, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being realistic because it's coming from a bad place. Why are we being realistic? Because we don't think we can achieve more. Is that a good enough reason to go after a goal? Because I think I can do it? No. That's not good enough, right? And we don't set big goals because we're afraid of not reaching them. We don't want to disappoint ourselves. We don't want to get our hopes up. But that's not a way that I want to live. I want to get my hopes up. I want to dream big. Because then you have big shots to go for. Like, what's going to get you out of bed? Losing 10 pounds or reaching my high school weight? Like, these are scary stuff, right? Like, what's going to push you to keep going? Your goal needs to make you emotional, whether it's scary, whether it's doubtful, whether it's exciting, whether it's sad, proud, like whatever. Your goal needs to emote an emotion in you if it's going to outlast life, because life is full of emotion. And life is full of crazy, unpredictable things. And if your goal isn't even more emotional than the crap life throws at you, there's no chance of you wanting to go after it because life just gets too overwhelming. And not to mention, on top of overshooting your goals, a lot of the time we actually have more fat to lose than we think. Sorry to break it to you, but there's kind of two main types of fat. There's visceral and subcutaneous. Subcutaneous fat is the stuff, grab your tummy right now. It's that stuff you can grab. That's subcutaneous, okay? It's sitting on top of the body. But visceral fat is the fat we cannot see that's clinging to our organs. It's the dangerous fat. And a lot of the times you won't see that dropping when we lose weight, right? Like, have you ever seen the scale drop but your body looks the same, that's because you most likely lost visceral fat instead of the subcutaneous fat. And you need to lose both of them if you want to reach your goal and get optimal health. So a lot of times, if we're 180 pounds and our goal is to be 160 pounds, make it 140 pounds because you probably got lots of visceral fat that you don't know is even there. So shoot big, and you got probably more hidden fat as well, just for health reasons to get rid of. And I just love sharing this testimonial. So this is Crystal. Crystal lost over 90 pounds with us. And this is wild. She said, when I first came to this program, my goal, I thought it sounded nice, but like she never really thought it was going to happen. Now I'm back to where I was in high school. So this picture on the left is Crystal in high school. I believe it was high school prom in 2000. She fit back into her prom dress in 2024 when she was in her 40s. How exciting is that? This doesn't just have to be a cool story you heard. It can be your story. It is possible if you just let yourself believe it. Just even a sliver. I know there'll be doubt, but that's okay. If you just let yourself believe it, that's the first step of actually getting there. You do not have to think small or set your goals small or set your goals realistic because you don't think you can do it. I know you can. Open your mind.